everyone, it's Brandy Janae here. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel today. If you are new here, then welcome. And if you're returning, hey, great to see you again. Thank you so much for being a faithful subscriber. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience with weight loss surgery. So if you are interested in learning more about that, please be sure to stay tuned. All right, great. Thank you again for watching. So on June, let me check, because now I can't remember any dates. On June 22nd, I went in for a procedure that has been a super duper duper long time coming. I actually had planned on having the gastric sleeve surgery in March, but due to everything that's going on right now, it was pushed back. So needless to say, I was super duper bummed about it because I was just ready to get it done. You know, I had been going to doctors, going to appointments, different visits, all the hoops that you have to go through with your insurance and, you know, getting approval from work. And I mean, I just went through so much. It's been literally almost a year's process of getting this done. So in March, I just wanted it to be done. But I am so grateful and so thankful that it was not done in March, because I don't think I would have made it. I don't think I would have been able to do it, honestly, with trying to work and, you know, doing this process at the same time. So on June 15th, started my liquid diet, which was only supposed to be 1 week. And I could have protein shakes, I could have water, I could have sugar-free Jell-O and sugar-free popsicles and like the chicken broth. But that was pretty much the extent of my liquid diet for an entire week. And so of course, the week before, I was like, I'm going hard. I ate literally everything that I thought I might miss. And immediately Monday morning, realized that that was a horrible plan. So first of all, if you are considering having this surgery done, I would recommend that when they put you on your liquid diet, or when they give you that time frame, that you start kind of weaning yourself off food a little bit, so it's not such a stark contrast between I've just been pigging out at Red Lobster and now I can only have water. So Monday, needless to say, was rough. I felt very sick. I felt very weak. I felt, you know, like I just didn't want to do this anymore. And so then the next day I contacted my surgical staff and they were like, oh no, honey, you're, you know, you're basically starving yourself, because I was only drinking like 3 protein shakes and, you know, having some water and, you know, and she was like, no, you can kick it up. So once I bumped up to about 4 to 5 protein shakes, for the rest of that week, I was good. Now, randomly, the only thing that I have really been craving in all of this time is like chips and popcorn. And just recently, I've started craving shrimp. So I'm assuming that there must be some kind of like sodium that is missing from, you know, my body right now, that my body is used to, because I have not craved any sweets at all, which is very strange for me. I'm one of those people that I'm not necessarily a food eater. Like, I'm not gonna just sit around and eat food all day, but I'm definitely, I call it a Snackosaurus Rex, because I just love, like, I'm one of those I'll eat popcorn for dinner kind of people. So anyway, that's enough about that. So side tip, if you're doing it, do not eat all you want to eat the week before and then just wake up cold turkey on Monday and start your liquid diet, because it's hard and it sucks. So anyway, I made it through the week. I was walking. I ended up walking 5 days that week, just to kind of get my body into, you know, a good recovery mode kind of situation when it was time. The reason for me initially planning the surgery in the first place was because I have had so many back problems. Like, it gets to the point sometimes where I literally cannot even get out of bed. Like my back is just shot. So my entire medical team kind of decided that for me, back surgery was not the best way to go because they couldn't guarantee that it would help. But so they, recommended the weight loss surgery, which they're like, again, we can't necessarily guarantee that it's going to help you, but we can guarantee that you're going to lose weight, which overall will help your body's function, which we all know is true. Every pound you lose is like, I don't know, I think they say like 4 pounds or something off your joints. So, it just felt like the better option. So Monday, June 22nd, I went in I had to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. They did all the surgery prep and, gave you your little pep talks. And I got to meet with the doctors and the anesthesiologists, and everybody was wearing masks and gloves and cleaning their hands every time they moved them. And, it was a very sanitary process. There were no people sitting around you or, sharing rooms or any of those things that may have happened in a normal, hospital setting. None of that happened. Like everything was very sterile and clean and, cautious, which I really appreciated, obviously. But anyway, they took me back, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember anything. All I know is at some point I woke up. And by the time I woke up, I was already in my room. So when I woke up, I had a hard time. I had a hard time with getting, going through the recovery process with the anesthesia, which is normal for me. Some people bounce right back. And for me, I was literally like zoned out until about 10:30 p.m. So needless to say, I wasn't really drinking anything. I certainly didn't eat anything because every single time I got up, I was falling back asleep. So that kind of was like the whole Monday night process. And then when I did decide to, have a sip of water per their recommendations, I would immediately start like gagging. So even the water for me was too much on Monday, which of course caused concern with the medical staff. So Tuesday I got up and I'm like, woohoo, I'm going home. And, my nurse looked over and she's like, okay, well, how much water have you had today? And I showed her my cups and she said, no, that's not enough. And I was like, what? Because at this point, I'm still, every drink, I'm nauseous. Every little medicine they were injecting made me nauseous. Like every single thing made me nauseous, which for me is really strange because I'm not a nauseous type person. Like I don't really get stomach problems. I have all kind of other problems, but typically not stomach problems. So anyway, she was like, no, I don't think so. So they, I guess, called my doctor, or I don't know if the doctor was coming in to just do a follow-up visit or not. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like they snitched on me. So when the surgeon came in, she was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to keep you, because what we don't want is for you to not be able to hold anything down here, or at least feel like you're not going to hold anything down, because when you get home, you're not going to keep pushing yourself to drink. And the last thing you want to do is get dehydrated and end up in the emergency room. And I was like, you're right. So they, kept putting IV fluids in, kept encouraging me to drink as much water as I could. And they had that anti-nausea, anti-vomiting medicine like on deck. Pretty much every single time my nurse came in the room, she was giving me something to, prevent the nausea and prevent the vomiting. So then, Tuesday, pretty uneventful, other than the fact, again, I was still really drowsy. So I still spent a lot of time in and out of sleep. I think more time than they would have liked. But I did also Tuesday start getting up and start, again, trying to walk around the surgical floor. So that was kind of cool. They have like a nurse's station in the middle, and I was able to just kind of walk around the nurse's station and just did a few laps that day just to, stretch out your limbs and prevent blood clots and all of those things they tell you about. So then Wednesday, I get up and I'm like, woohoo! Not for real, this time I'm going home. And so Wednesday I pushed more water. I even took like a bite of Jell-O. made sure I was doing more walking so that everyone could see, because at that point, I'm like, I can't sleep here. I can't get comfortable here with the blood pressure checks every 5 seconds and the monitoring, all that stuff they do in the hospital. So I was ready to go home. So the doctor came in and she's like, okay, well, you look better. You have had more fluids today. Still not what we'd like. But at least you're able to, drink water without gagging. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I got discharged. My bestie, Amanda, came and picked me up. I came home. I was able to get in the shower. Gosh, that was the first time. Y'all, they had a boil order at the hospital. And so they refused to let any of us take a shower because they didn't want, we all have like our scars and wounds and surgical sutures and whatever you had done. But they didn't want us putting water that was potentially harmful in those areas and making us sick. So no one was allowed to shower. I had to use my little hospital cup and pour the water on my toothbrush just to brush my teeth, and then kind of waterfall the water in my mouth to rinse my mouth. Like, it was awful. So I could not wait. That was the first thing I did. I walked in the house and went straight to the shower. So I took a shower, came in the room. By this time I'm exhausted again, and I was actually a little nauseous again. I think maybe it was the car ride. So I took some anti-nausea medicine and I just kind of laid down and relaxed for a while. Again, I don't even think I finished an entire bottle of water on Wednesday. Yes, one bottle. I don't think I finished it on Wednesday. But in my mind, I was doing excellent because I felt like I was full. I got this. I can drink, So then the following day, so that was Wednesday. Wednesday was cool. Thursday, I felt like death. Thursday, when I woke up, I remember distinctly saying, I'm done with this. Throw the whole surgery away. I want my stomach back. Like, I was done. I quit. I'm done. Because I was so weak and I was so tired and I'm like, I'm supposed to be getting better, not worse. Like, it almost felt like day one of the liquid diet again. Which, by the way, you're still on a liquid diet. For me, it's the first, the week before the surgery and then the week of surgery. I'm still on the liquid diet. So I felt like as bad as I did on the first day, on this day. And I'm like, wait a minute. So now I'm in pain for my incisions, a little, not a major, but enough. I'm in pain for my incisions and I'm just feeling horrible, so I'm like, I don't know what to do. So then Friday, I talked to my doctor, for my first follow-up. And she, of course, asked me, how many liquid ounces are you getting in a day? And I was like, I think yesterday I got like 16. And she was like, what? And she's like, okay, so that was water, I assume. I was like, yeah. And she's like, how many protein shakes? I was like, well, I took a couple sips, but I couldn't finish it because I kept getting nauseous. And so she's like, no. You have to drink 64 fluid ounces a day, and you must have 60 grams of protein every single day. If you do not do that, then you will be back in this hospital with an IV in your arm because you are going to dehydrate yourself. So of course that scared me. Surgery, I was okay. They made me go do the COVID testing. I self-quarantined for the weekend until, Monday. It was time for my surgery. Like I said, everybody in the office, in the building, in that surgical floor was extremely clean and sanitized looking. Emergency rooms scare me because you don't know who's in there. And the people that are in there, you don't know why they're in there. So when she said that, I was like, oh, okay. So that definitely lit a fire under me to work even harder. So that day I choked down because it was rough. 2 of my protein shakes. And then I had a total of about 55 total fluid ounces for the day. So for me to go from 1 bottle to all of that in a day, I felt very triumphant. So then Saturday, same thing. I pushed harder, started earlier, so I had a little bit more time, and I ended up, doing my 2 protein shakes, getting all the liquids in that I needed. Saturday, I even had a little apple juice because I was feeling fancy, where you got to dilute it. So it was like 3 ounces of apple juice and 3 ounces of water, but still, I drank it. So I was like, feeling good about myself. And I even had some Gatorade that now I know that I love, which originally I hated Gatorade. But there's this berry flavor, which I'll link a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about right now in the description, just so that, in case you want to try it, you can easily find it. But yeah, so I had Gatorade, I was eating popsicles, so I'm getting all my liquids in now, like I'm a professional. So Saturday I had 68.9 ounces of, fluid. And then by Sunday, which ironically ended up being our girls' day, which was horrible because they had Thai food and it looked and smelled so delicious. And what did I have? A Premier caramel protein shakes. But it was still cool to hang out with my girls. And they had cupcakes. Anyway, I digress. So, but with all of that going on Sunday, I still was able to drink 70.8 ounces of fluid. And so, Sunday was a very successful day. So fast forward to today now, which is Monday, June 29th. I feel like I have gotten the liquid portion completely under control. I no longer feel weak. I no longer feel sluggish or tired or anything like that. My incisions have pretty much stopped hurting for the most part. I have one little spot like in my belly button because they did find a hernia when she was doing the surgery. So that got repaired. So I'm assuming that's maybe that incision that's kind of still a little sore, but it's really only sore when I'm like laying down now. So if I lay on it wrong, and it's not even like awful, it's just kind of like a pulling, when your skin kind of pulls. So yeah, it's not unbearable. I'm not taking any kind of pain medication, or matter of fact, I only took the pain medication that they gave me that one day when I came home. Because I was still in more pain on that day, but I haven't touched it since. So tomorrow I have my 1 week post-op appointment in-house, which I'm really looking forward to because I'm hoping that they move me to the next step of the diet, because I am ready to move to soft foods, because I feel like the protein shakes and water and things, they're just not sustaining my hunger anymore. I guess because it's been 2 weeks now. So I would like to try to start, incorporating actual food into my diet. Now, of course, soft foods are things like yogurt, cottage cheese, mashed potatoes. I can still do like my Jell-O and popsicles and things like that. And I'm trying to think what else. They told me I could have grits, which I was excited about. And even like scrambled eggs, you just don't want them to be the dry, like, you kind of want to leave them a little moist. So I don't know if I'm gonna like that, because I like mine like scrambled pretty hard. But again, you just, and then soups. So today I decided to get a Ninja, I think it's a bullet. I don't remember. Anyway, I think I got a Ninja bullet. I'll link it below. So that when I'm doing my soup, because obviously soups are very, very chunky. And even though they are soft, they're still chunky. So I plan on taking a can of soup and just sticking it in the Ninja and then pureeing it, just so it'll be easier to go down for me, until I can start eating more solid things. Because I don't want, you don't want anything to make you sick or uncomfortable, obviously. So they're projecting that I will only be able to eat like 1 to 2 tablespoons of food, probably for, the first week. And then you kind of progress up to a half a cup of food for the day. And then after a few more weeks, then you should be able to eat a half a cup of food 3 times a day. So it's a very slow and gradual process. very slow and very gradual. So, I've heard a lot of people, especially when I said, oh, I'm having weight loss surgery, it was all like, no, you don't need to do that. You're great. You're not even fat. You just got big boobs. That was always the thing I heard. You're not even fat. You just got big boobs. And I'm like, oh, true. However, for me, again, this wasn't some, I'm just want to be sexy size 2 kind of plan. This was I want my life back. I want my back to stop controlling what I can and I cannot do. I want to be able to go back to the gym. I want to be able to go back on walks with my friends. I want to be able to stand in a line at a grocery store. I want to be able to work without, being in excruciating pain, and sit on the floor with my kids at school. And, I want to do all of those things. I want to slide with them and run with them like I used to be able to do before I got injured. And so it was more important to me to get my life back. And if this is the means that I have to do to get it, then it is what it is. So, this is definitely not an easy process. I think some people, have obviously different experiences. Everybody's body is different. Recovery is different. Tolerance for things are different. But I'm willing to bet that everybody that you run into contact with will tell you, like, you need to be for real. Like, this is not something you want to, just do haphazardly. And I even talked to one of the ladies. We ended up walking around the nurse's station, and she was doing what they call a revision. And I was like, what is that? And, it's basically, she had a bypass surgery. She lost 90 pounds. And then throughout a course of time, she ended up gaining 70 pounds back. And so because of that, she had to start the whole process over. And I was like, oh, no. I will not. I will not start this process over. I'm not. Nope. If I gain weight, if it comes back, then I'm just gonna have to suffer those consequences. Because going through the surgery and the diet and all that stuff again, no, thank you. I'm not interested. If I could sleep and wake up on the phase when I can actually eat some real food, I would. And not because I need a lot of real food. I'm just tired of drinking. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just tired of drinking every single meal of the day. I want to chew something. I know that's strange. You don't even realize how much you miss chewing. You can't chew. So, yeah. So this is not a get skinny quick scheme. It's not. It should not be. It shouldn't be. Not to mention you're in surgery. So we all know that there are risks associated with any type of surgery. So you definitely don't want to go into that just all willy-nilly. But yeah, then again, it's hard. It's hard every day. Every day is a struggle. Every day is, a reminder. Every day you have to be prepared and focused and ready, to, complete your day. Because, like today, I went to a friend's house for a little bit. We were doing some crafts, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot my protein shake. So I had to stop at the gas station, grab a protein shake, and take it with me just in case, so I'm like, you have to be prepared for being gone for extended periods of time. You have to be prepared for taking multivitamins for the rest of your life. I have to take calcium for the rest of my life. And again, it's going to be that 60 grams of protein minimum. So I'll probably drink in protein shakes twice a day, probably for the rest of my life. So those are all things that you have to mentally get yourself prepared for. And then, of course, once you lose the weight, is maintaining it and not going back to the point where you started. So in regards to the weight, when I started my liquid diet, so that was on June 15th, I weighed 258.6 pounds. And I looked at that scale and I'm like, when in the heck did you get here? I'm like, whoa, that is literally the heaviest I have ever been, even when I was pregnant, in my entire life. Like, never had I even imagined that I had gotten that heavy. Fortunately, I am a person that carries my weight well, because when I tell people I weigh 250 whatever pounds, I'm like, no, you don't. but I do. So I am fortunate that, you know, I can carry it and I don't necessarily look like I weigh 250 pounds. But yeah, that was my reality. So on the morning of surgery, I weighed 248.8 pounds. So I lost a little bit under 10 pounds in that first week of the liquid diet. And so then today, when I weighed, I'm at 238.6 pounds. So literally in like 2 weeks, I have lost 20 pounds. My goal is to lose about 60 more, just to be at the optimal, you know, number that I remember being the most comfortable at. So if I don't exactly make 60 more and I'm still able to function, you know, the way I would like to, that's fine. If I go past 60 and, you know, I don't look like Skeletor, then, you know, that's fine as well. So we'll just kind of see. But as of right now, I'm going with like a total weight loss of 80 pounds. So I would have about 60 more that I'd like to lose throughout the course of this year. And so then again, like I said, tomorrow is my actual follow-up with my, I don't know if it's my actual surgeon or if it's a physician's assistant, but in the office. So I will get to, you know, find out how I'm moving forward, how I'm doing. At first she had threatened me and was like, when you come in, we're going to put you on an IV. So I've been sending them all little messages about, yay, I'm drinking my water. So hopefully I don't have to, you know, do that tomorrow. But if I do, it's okay. You know, I'd rather be overhydrated than underhydrated. So if that's a word, dehydrated, I don't, you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, I will link in the description box just some of the things that have kind of helped me out, just in case you are considering surgery or you already have surgery planned, or you know someone else that's thinking about it. You know, there's a resource there and you can just order from Amazon, because I know a lot of people aren't actually like shopping right now. So the things that I was able to find on Amazon, like I said, I'll link below so that you can just kind of order from there, and then, you know, the stuff will be delivered and you don't have to worry about going to the stores and pick it up. I feel like everything's pretty comparable. I mean, and who really doesn't shop on Amazon at this point? And yeah, so my next video will probably be, I think I'm gonna do like a 1 month follow-up, just so you guys can kind of, you know, see the difference. I can tell you, just because I know my body, the whole body, I don't really see any changes. I'm sure there are, but I don't really see any. But my face, I can definitely see it becoming more rectangular and less kind of round. I noticed that like right when I came home from the hospital. So, you know, hopefully by next month when I come back for the new video, you know, you'll be able to see some additional changes. Now, I have watched videos and there's girls that are like putting on swimsuits and then like showing you guys their incisions and their bodies and stuff like that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not doing that. But what I will do is this week, Friday, I'm gonna go get professionally taped and measured. And I will, you know, write those measurements down, and then I will bring those measurements with me, get another set of measurements before I do my next video so that you can see the comparison as far as the measurements. And then obviously I will weigh myself every single day. So you'll be able to see, you know, what I'm doing as far as losing numbers. I'm typically a person though that loses more inches than pounds. So we'll see if that still remains true. Tomorrow I plan on, you know, getting back out for my walks. Maybe not as long as I was before, because before, like I said, I was doing about 30 minutes a day. So I might start off at about 15 and then just kind of work my way up, because I am still technically in recovery mode. So, you know, you don't want to push too hard and then end up making yourself sick or need to go back to the hospital or anything. But yeah, so I'm going to start walking again with some friends tomorrow and visit my doctor tomorrow and finally get this head done tomorrow. Whew, Jesus. Cannot wait for that. Yes. oh yeah, I just get this head done tomorrow. And you know, just kind of keep pushing and moving forward. So if you're the praying kind of people, please pray for your girl to keep pushing, to keep moving, and to do the best that I can do with what I have. If you have any questions or comments or recommendations or, you know, anything of the sort, please leave that in the description box below. Again, I'm only a week in, so there's a whole lot that I don't know. There's a whole lot that I know I'll learn before I even come to film the next video, I'm sure. So yeah, if you know anything that I don't know, any tips and tricks that'll help, please share them. So, you know, so that everybody can win. I want everybody to win. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to inspire someone. I hope to, you know, either deter you if you're doing this for the wrong reason, or to, you know, give you the idea that it can be done if you're doing it for the right one. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm here for. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a good day, friends. Goodbye.